Thanks for joining me here. Thanks for taking the time.
No
Um,
problem.
I wanted to start out with the new album. That's fantastic. I mean,
Thank you
as
very
ex
much.
as expected. I mean, I knew it was going to be great as soon as I see your name attached to it. But but it's an album that brings a lot of pertinent subjects to light. Global warming, civil unrest, and it's brought together amazingly. With the songs. I mean, what was it like for you to write this one from the beginning? To bring these subjects to your music.
Oh, I mean, that was in a way. The first thing is have two new members, Thielen Hudrab on bass, Dee Dammers on guitar, and they are very much also involved in the whole new album, and songwriting wise. Of course, with Andrei Smirnov, I'm together now for 10 years. This is like, okay, we know each other very well. He knows what's going on. And also, yeah, but the whole thing was also a little bit different this time in a couple of ways. It was the first time that I wrote all the lyrics together with my son. And also my son was also, yeah, I can say quite involved in melodies, vocal-wise. He said, "No, Daddy, maybe you can sing it like this. I have an idea here." So that was for me very interesting. Also, these young people. I mean, Dee is 28, my son 27, Thielen 30 years old. The oldest one is now Andre, 35, but this is not old. I mean,
Right,
my age.
right.
I'm double old. So yeah, and this is like they're coming up with fresh ideas. It was really interesting, and for me it was like another kind of guy to say no. It's like it has to be like this direction. No, I'm completely open-minded about this,
Right.
So and also the whole recording session was this time about the pandemic a little bit different.
Right.
So we start collecting all the ideas, and then we had enough, and then we said, okay. Normally we go into rehearsal room or a small studio and start working on the songs, arranging together with the producer. But this time it was not possible to be in one room. So
Right.
that means we did everything over Zoom, FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp, always we have a conference. And it was a little bit more work, and you were talking about 10 songs and said, okay, maybe you can change it here and change it there. But then you have to wait for a link. You have to listen to that, make a conference again. Yeah, that was a little bit like, and also the main recording and at the studio, it was not possible to be together at the studio. It was like only two persons. That was Stefan Kaufmann recording everything. And then every musician was on his own. This is also not the normal way how we do this. Yeah, so, and also the title of the album, then I can close that, was coming up during the whole recording session, I don't know,
Right.
first it was a German word, but then in English was game over. A lot of things are game over, That's what is going on, and then he said, okay, great title for the album.
Right.
And of course, a lot of people were thinking, okay, this is the last album of U.D.O. and also maybe last tour. No, has nothing to do with this.
Just the title. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's just the title.
Yeah, I think we definitely want you to go on until you don't want to do it anymore. Believe me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always say people ask me, oh, you start already thinking maybe retiring. I said no. I mean, the most important thing that I have fun. I still have fun to do this. I mean, as long as I'm healthy, my voice is working, and we can tour worldwide. So why stay home and do nothing? At the moment, it's we are finished with all the recording stuff, and already it's like sitting home and waiting that we can go on tour again. It's like sitting at home, Okay, I'm lucky now I can do all the interviews, have to do something to
Right.
do. But then I really was thinking, boy, is this the way if you, when you are retiring, sitting home, having a cup of coffee in the morning, read the news and whatever, and go maybe for a walk and then back home. No, this is not me, and I hope I can do it. I don't know, for a long, long time. Hopefully.
I'm with you on that. I think everybody's, kind of changed that way too. I mean, you wake up, like you said, I did the same thing this morning, cup of coffee,
Yeah,
and get ready for the interview. And, but, you know, for you doing this, for so long and everything, I mean, it's a passion,
yeah, it is.
so
Yeah, yeah. So, but okay, at the moment, let's say here in especially in Germany, it goes better and better. Also in some parts of Europe, it's going yeah, getting back to normal in a way.
right.
So I think next year, I think we are, I cross my fingers that everything is so normal that we can start touring again. So
Yeah, I hope so. It's been crazy. And,
yeah, it
and,
is.
and, and when you bring out the new album too, I mean, you want to be able to get out there, to tour to support it. I mean, that's really what
Of
what
course.
the game is.
Yeah.
And with this one, I mean, songs like Prophecy, Empty Eyes Like a Beast, just fantastic. They're standouts, on this for me. I've listened to it multiple times, but you know, uh, they're heavy. It's really cool that what you've done over your career. It's like a lot of bands kind of like, I'm not going to say so much matured, but they kind of level it off. But your stuff is still just as meaningful and brings the heavy punch all the time. And I think that's says a lot.
Yeah, I mean, also the thing is, I would say every U.D.O album is in a way different. Sometimes harder, sometimes more melody, sometimes a little bit in this direction, sometimes in this direction. But for me, it's important. I'm not sit down when we do a new album and say, okay, the new album has to be maybe like, I don't know, Time Bomb, Face the World, or whatever. For me, it's like, okay, new album and new luck. So then we will see what's coming up. And that was now definitely what I said in the beginning. Also, now with this new lineup and all these young people around me, that was something really fresh. And also, I think we have a really good mix up on songs on this album. A lot of people was already saying, oh, 16 songs, this is boom. A lot of, maybe too long. We say no, value for money. So what? I mean, we like all the songs, and then we said no, we want to put this on an album. So why not?
And it's worth it. I mean, when the fans look at it and see 16 songs, I mean, that's like a bonus.
Yeah,
There's no doubt.
yeah.
There's no
So
doubt about it.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think it's great. It's a great album. And you know what? I've been listening to you since, Restless and Wild, 1982, Young
Yeah,
Guy.
yeah.
So it's fantastic. But, with the material on Game Over, like I said, you continue to deliver, with the music industry looking, it's kind of different now. What are some of the challenges that you face when you record new music?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, of course, the whole business is completely different, like, let's say, record-wise. I mean, download stuff, and then there are a lot of things are changing. Also, you're using more now the social medias and this and this and this. And that's a lot of changing. And also, again, I'm happy that I have two guys in the band, young guys, they know to handle that. It's like, yeah, yeah. They say, yeah, we have to do this and this and this, and I said, yeah, okay, what I have to do, tell me. And yeah, this is the whole business is changing. Also, record companies. I mean, it's not like when the old days when we were when we was with Accept. I mean, for a young band, I think it's really heavy to survive in this business. They don't get any money from the record company if they want to go as a support on with a bigger band or something like that. No money at all. This is really, really hard. I mean, I know that when we are looking for sometimes for a band to do support for us, and they really say, yeah, we really want to do it, but in the end, then they say, sorry, no money. That's the thing.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah, this is a really, really hard thing going on for, I think, for new bands, you know.
I agree. It's tough. I mean, they basically want to just get out there for exposure, and support, obviously. I mean, with your fan base, but it's tough. I mean, the digital now. What do you think about digital music right now? I mean, as far as
It's
um,
what?
I said, what do you think about digital music right now? As far
It's,
as what do you feel it's like compared to like the old the days with the CDs and how that was when you'd be able to open it up and have that physical piece there.
yeah, I mean, it's the physical thing. I mean, I think still in our what this kind of music, what we are doing, heavy metal, the fans really want to see pictures and see what inside. You know, it's not like, let's say, in metal, in metal, it's the download is not so high than it is in pop music. You know,
Right.
still the people buy the CDs, and that's. Yeah, I think in a way a good thing, you know. I mean, we will see, but now the download stuff going higher and higher and
Right.
higher, you know. That's but what can you do, you know? Not, I mean, also like the selling of albums is going really down, you know. In the old days, it was like you can make a living of selling albums, and now it's a different way. I mean, not I'm not really talking about me, but I mean that's the way it is. And now you cannot make a living of selling albums. You make a living of merchandise and touring, you know. It's completely changing, you know. It's also, yeah, if you're talking about business nowadays is a different, completely different story.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And what's the formula that makes a UDO song? I mean, you have so many epic songs throughout your career. Is it more difficult now to get what you're looking for as opposed to the past?
No, I mean it's like yeah. I mean also I think I'm lucky. I'm lucky having good people around me and coming up with good ideas. You know, I never had problems to create melodies or stuff like that. I have tons of hook lines. You know, still in here and yeah. And I said, okay, if this works together with the music, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm really lucky with this one to compose a new song, or also with my voice. You know, I never had any problems with my voice. It's still there. You know, that is like also a miracle sometimes. You know, it's like okay, I do nothing, and it still works. You know, a lot of people say out to me, "This is really a miracle in your age." You know, so what can I say? I'm lucky.
I think it's good too. I mean, do you feel that your voice gets better, with age?
Yeah, this is like who said this? It's like an old wine, you know. The taste getting, yeah, it's getting better and better. I mean, this is also crazy. I'm together with Stefan Kaufmann. I don't know, since the Accept days, you know. When he was a drummer, then he was a guitar player in U.D.O, and then he was producing U.D.O. Blah blah blah. And when we did the recording my vocals in his studio, he said to me, "This is unbelievable." He said, "You are getting really high, like in the old days when we did the Breaker album, and also the lower parts are also much better than it was in the early days." Yeah, he said, "This is." He said that he said it's a miracle, but he said, "But okay." I said, "Yeah, it's fine to hear that. So it means I can do a lot of things, you know."
Exactly. That says a lot too. I mean, it seems like a lot of you guys that, kind of like really like the iconic, vocalist, frontman, whatever you want to say, are still doing it. I think that says a lot for metal and what you guys bring to the music industry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, still you see Rob Halford, you see, I don't know, there are many singers, or like Bruce Dickinson, for example. There we can do that, you know. So sometimes Rob is changing some melodies, I know that. I mean, but anyway, but he can really do it, you know, and that's a good thing to see. So Yeah, but hopefully we can survive for a long time.
I hope so, man. I agree. I agree. We love listening to you. Your early days in Accept, you know, I've always wanted to ask you this, you know, about the start. What was the music scene like in Europe and, you know, in Germany and at the time? You know, I look at it from a US point of view, but
Yeah, in Europe, of course, when we they're getting more international, that was only the Scorpions and Accept. And then in 81, 82, Halloween came, Running Wild came, Doro came out. So, but also I think the Scorpions open up for Accept international market. And I think then Accept was open up for a lot of bands also the international market. But in let's say in the 70s, 78, 79, there was Scorpions Accept, and some
right.
we called it krautrock bands, you know. It was like nothing really international stuff. Yeah, so I mean, and I think yeah, we have to let Accept has to say thank you very much to Scorpions and the rest of the bands. I know that they were talking to many like Kai Hansen and I don't know a lot of Doro and all that stuff. They said yeah, and Accept was open up the whole international market for us, you know. So and then now Germany, I think, is a really strong heavy metal scene is going on in Germany, you know. I mean, for us it was like England, you know, like with Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and all that stuff. It was really like whoa, yeah. But and now it's England, yeah. But now it's the scene is more in Germany, you know, the metal scene. So yeah, something changing, but it's good.
I think it is good. I mean, there's been so many, you know, great bands that come out of there. And I think what's nice too is there's no, you know, kind of like here in America, we don't even, it doesn't seem like we even have anything that's you know, that's ironclad. I mean, we have country, we don't even have rock and roll anymore. And I think it's you know, it's sad to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's America is also changing, but there's still is a good heavy metal scene there. I mean, I know that, you know. I mean, when we start touring, okay, it's not that big anymore, but you play in clubs like say around 1,000 people, 800, 1,500 people, stuff like that, and it's good to see that you can do this, you know. So I mean, I'm
Right.
fine with that, and maybe one day you can go or make a support for a bigger band or whatever, you know. But you never know. But in a way, I'm really, yeah, I'm honest. I don't want to really do a support in America for, I don't know, you know, for what? I
Right.
mean, I think I don't want to do this anymore, you know. And also, I don't have to do this in Europe. So let's
Right.
say some bands want to support us, you know. That yeah. So I mean, also changing a lot, you know.
Right. It is crazy. You know, when you look at albums like Restless and Wild, Balls to the Wall, and Metal Heart, I mean, those obviously, I mean, I grew up with those. I still listen to them. They're still great to this day. You know, when you look back, you know, now, how do you feel about them, you know, 30 years later, 35
Wow.
years later?
Yeah, I mean, I love a lot of songs on this album, of this album, you know, like especially Restless and Wild, Prince of the Dawn, Fast as a Shark, stuff like that. You know, when we did the Restless and Wild album, and Stefan Kaufmann came up with this Fast as a Shark thing, you know, we said, "Huh? What is this?" And then we said, "Okay, come on, let's do it," you know. And that was, I think, what I heard afterwards was the first speed song ever. You know, he was in a way creating speed metal, you know. So and yeah, balls. I mean, there's so many songs on there, and definitely the most popular song of Accept is definitely "Ball to the Wall." I mean, yeah, and then Metalhead was going already a little bit more commercial, you know, and yeah, I mean, there's so many good songs on these three albums. I mean, it's also, I think that was the most creative part of Accept, you know, for me.
That's great. I mean, they're great albums. And, you know, like I said earlier, you know, you're considered an icon in a metal world. You know, at least that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
What do you want the legacy of Udo Dirkschneider to be? I know it's a tough question, but
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I always try to be normal. I'm not a typical rock and roll type, sitting not here with sunglasses and say, "Hey, man, you know, it's like I try to be a normal person, you know. But what what I knew is that I was inspired a lot of bands, you know, also with Accept and also now with U.D.O, and they really said, you know, that makes you proud that you did something in this business, you know, inspired other musicians and also really well-known musicians, you know, and that was really like, woo, wow, you know,
right.
okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes you proud, and then you know that you did something in this business, you know. So that's it for me. That's like, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know we have limited time here, but how about any last words? Is there anything you want to get out to the audience, you know, about the new record, any tour plans or anything?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I hope the people like the new album, Game Over. There are a lot, I think, there's a lot of good stuff on this album, and yeah, hopefully, I cannot promise, but what I heard that we are coming to America next year in September.
Awesome.
So, and you know, the tour was already planned, but then they moved it to next year, and I think there will be everything normal. I mean, a lot of bands are touring now in America, right? Priest was on tour, and a lot
Right.
of bands are touring. So, and I think that will be next year definitely more normal. And then I think that will be happen that we are coming to the US, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having you guys, and
Oh,
I wish you much success with Game Over. You
thank
know,
you very much.
and I want to thank you personally as a fan for everything that you've done. I mean, you know, you've inspired. You know, I've listened to you for 35 years right now, and it's still fantastic. But thank you for doing what you do. It
Okay,
means a lot.
thank you very much. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks for your time, Udo.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
You too.